segment, which was being handled by Baby Santos. I trust that you taking some cue out of it, and it's very sad and pathetic to see some of the rules which are not very pleasant at all. And there are so many things that we ought to talk about. And that's why this show is put together. And that's why it's called Generational Leaders. We talk about things concerning our generations, and whatever is good, we will say it, and we will say it as it is. We're not here to play politics, but we're here to speak facts and to make sure that solutions are being found to other things. Well, today we are starting a very nice series, and I trust that you will love it and enjoy it as well. And my guests are seated. But before I continue, let me say the show is being sponsored by Zoe Mama's Bread. They have all kinds of assorted breads, and when you go there, you get it. They have the vanilla bread, they have the marble bread, they have the butter bread, they have the coconut bread, they have the chicken bread, they have the tuna bread, they have the bland bread and banana bread, spices fruit bread, and chocolate bread, and all kinds of assorted. So try and get one for yourself. They believe that quality is the most important thing, and they have a special bread. They think about your health first. You know, it's not every bread that you can eat that you will have good healthy life. So try and get one for yourself. And if you want to take a whole lot of them to sell, the numbers on the screen, you can pick it up, and we'll see how to link you up with them so you can get some for yourself. They make sure this program come on your way this and every Saturday. Test them when you get to Docker Road. You can get some. They have a big shop getting close to Pugas Furnitures. Before Pugas Furnitures, you see a big shop over there. You can go there. You can get some for yourself, or you can contact me. I'll get you some as well. Anyway, I'm under the weather, so please bear with me. You can hear my voice, so please bear with me. Today we are starting a series that we have entitled "Failing Forward." Failing forward, and that may sound sarcastic, but that's the truth. Failing forward. What is failing forward? And why failing forward? Why should we fail forward in life? What are some of the significance of failing forward in life? We look at all these things and we'll find the twists and turns to them, so that you can have your share and see how best you can fail forward in life. And we've brought to you the people who will help us to dissect and discuss this issue very well. So on my stream right happens to be somebody I've known for more than 20 years. He was the director of the youth ministry of Action Faith Ministry, Spinters. He's now Bishop Samuel Opare, and he's now the resident pastor of Action City East Legon. Bishop, I guess I'm right. Okay, Action City Church Vision Chapel. Bishop, good evening. It's been a while.
Fine, good to see you.
Good to see you too as well.
Good.
So we also have Mr. Chibezi Ezekiel. He is not a stranger on this show. He is one of the young, dynamic speakers who speaks all over, travels and touching lives, and he has an emphasis in climate change, making sure that the environment, and he speaks on the sustainable development goals. I mean, he's been a toast of our shows. I mean, you bear with me and you understand whenever he comes here, the kind of message people send. And he is no other person than Mr. Chibezi Ezekiel. Is he?
Hey.
Good evening.
Good evening, George.
How are you?
Yeah, God is still keeping us, so I'm fine.
We thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. I think I have to get some of the bread for you guys to taste too. So that you can taste some of yourself.
Yeah, I don't think that will be bad.
Yes, we need bad at all.
Assorted bread.
Yes, we'll try and get some. Bishop was asking me where you can get some. So, so we'll make some available for Bishop as well, so that he can buy some. But before we start the show, we'll tackle the subject. Let's look at unemployment. What happened in the course of the week? I mean, the security sectors were recruiting people. You saw immigration. You saw fire service. Previously, you saw the military. They have done theirs already. I think the police have done theirs already. So,
It's very critical. In fact, it borders on national security, because if you have a population where majority of the youth are unemployed, then it is a recipe for disaster if care is not taken. But I think that it is something that the government must come to realization, that a government cannot employ all the youth in this country. I mean, it should be very clear. You know, because sometimes they take advantage when they are doing the political, you know, we heard John Boydu talking about, you know, they employing the youth to the extent that they can even bring other people to come in, for them to come and work and all that, you know. So those are political, gimmicks. You know, gimmicks, you know, but the reality is that no government can fully employ, you know, the unemployed. But I think what the government should focus on is to create what we call the enabling environment, yeah. You know. Just create the environment, allow the youth to be innovative, to be creative, let them run, you know, with a vision. But, you know, you're out of school, you don't even know where to turn, you know, so you don't know who to talk to, where to turn. So that environment does not exist, you know, so when that happens, then they are focused on, I'm out of school, so government must give me a work. So it looks like it's the responsibility of government to by all means give a job, when it's, instead of government trying to create that environment for them to also explore with their gifts and talents and abilities. So I think that it has to be a national conversation, you know, that we need to have, how we can create that environment so that the youth themselves can go out there, you know, and push. I remember there was some time ago that when we were engaging the NYA, at that time it was a council, we came out with a number of proposals or ideas. For example, I mean, every year we can organize what we call a National Youth Trade Fair, all right? And then government, so it's part of the environment I'm talking about. We have a national theater, what do you call it, trade fair. These days I don't hear about trade fair anymore. You know, I don't know what is happening. So we have a facility.
Yeah, we have a facility.
So why don't we open it up and allow the youth who are doing their own smart things to come and display their products and services. That environment can be, or that place can be a platform for them to network, to build partnership, you know, to create alliances or that. So that's what I call enabling environment. We're not putting money in their pocket, yes, but we are creating an environment for them to get new customers and grow their business. You know, so these are some of the small things we can do, you know, to help the youth to, you know, promote their own businesses. And of course, we have the national media also, that instead of telling them come and pay what they call it, 5,000 cedis or 4,000 cedis for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we have national media houses. Give them room to come and advertise their business and their products. Okay, so you're not putting money in their pocket, but you're giving them the platform to talk about products. So these are some simple things we can do for our youth, you know, for them to also grow their businesses, if you ask me.
Wow. I think we need to find time to talk. You want to make comments about it?
I think taking so much money from the children, buy phones, thousands of people, it's deception.
Seriously.
And I think it must cease. You know, touching on all that he did, the enabling environment. And when did we start hearing about sardine bread and all that? That is somebody's innovation.
Yeah.
And so I think the government needs to partner with the individuals, as he said, and create opportunities. I mean, I think this week Shatawale has been trending. You know, it is his talent.
Yeah, his talent.
And I think there are a lot of young people who are equally talented. So if we create that enabling environment for them, it will take the burden of the government and everybody looking at them, which they can't even perform any magic.
Yeah.
Wow, good. Let me also thank the Generational Leaders team, the WhatsApp group, Michael and Mr. George Ametepe and Francis and Moses and all the guys on the platform. We say kudos to you. You guys make things happen. We also want to thank the others who also ask questions each and every day about Generational Leaders, like Priscilla and all those people. Want to thank you for your concern about this show. You make the show as it is, but stick close. Today we are discussing a very important discussion. So we are about to set off. So just relax, take your pen and paper, because it's been said that a short pencil is better than a long memory. A short pencil is better than a long memory. Well, let me start from you. We are talking about failing forward. First of all, let's look at what is failure.
Well, there are a number of definitions for the word failure. But in simple terms, I would say failure is lack of success. I would say failure is inability to meet your expectation, your goal, and your target.
Okay.
So in simple terms, that's failure.
Your inability to reach
Yeah.
your goal.
Yes.
That's it, so. Bishop.
Yes. I think the authority that I know on this topic is John Maxwell.
Okay.
And I took time to put down some of the things he said. That failure is the state or condition of not meeting a desirable or intended objective and may not be viewed as the opposite of success.
Okay.
Simple. I think it's self-explanatory. You see, a lot of people have interpreted failure as not being successful.
Okay.
But with this definition, I think the other day I tried to hint you about something with this definition. That with this definition, then God himself, the creator of the heavens and the earth, has failed a couple of times.
Yeah.
Because he did not meet his desirable objective.
Okay.
It started with Satan, Lucifer, rebelling in heaven, according to Ezekiel 28.
Okay.
And in Genesis chapter 3, when he created man in his own image, and Bible says everything God created was good, but man failed. You understand? So in that sense, God did not meet his objective. And so I can even declare on authority based on the word that God himself has experienced setback.
Okay.
And so failure is not something that we should shy.
Wow. So it should be something that we should embrace. Is it part and parcel of our lives, daily routine? I'm asking you, Bishop.
Well, I'm saying that even if God himself failed,
So how much
then
more us?
mortal man. So it is part of us.
Okay, so when we say failing forward, what does it really implies?
From my understanding of the subject, it means that you are using the temporal or the momentary setback to enhance your future in a very positive way.
Okay.
That is as simple as
Okay,
that.
so looking at it from different perspective by having a good positive focus towards it, sort of. That's
Sure.
what they're trying to say.
Sure. That you use whatever setback. I mean, you assess yourself, your weaknesses, you do all that, and then apply it so
Okay.
that you get a better self of yourself. And I'll give examples
Okay.
of J.J. Rollins. 15th May. He had an objective. He wanted to do a coup. It didn't happen. They were arrested. And then he was court-martialed. Over there, his oratory ability spoke. He said, leave my men alone, and this, and then all the junior officers, they got charged and took him out of prison, and we had June 4th. And
Wow.
through that, he became a leader for such a long time in our history. So that is a practical example of failing forward.
Wow. That's a very practical example. Is it?
Yes, I think Bishop has said it all. So I just trying to think through a simple example that could also help, explain the concept. So failure is part of human life. I'm yet to see anybody who has never experienced failure before. So it's like a child learning how to walk. Obviously when a child makes an attempt, the child will fall. But that will not stop the child from making that attempt. So the child will keep making that attempt until he or she can walk, and then will even start running. There's a saying that when a child falls, he looks forward. But when an adult falls, he looks backwards, whether somebody is watching him or not. So the child falls, gets up and still wants to continue running. So for me that is like falling forward. He has fallen down, but he's still up and running. So I think that so just to also add a bit of what Bishop said.
That brings me to the mind of people's perception towards failing forward or failure. Let's look at some of the perception people have towards failure, because somebody might have gone to write an exams and it didn't go the way he or she expected, and he or she thinks the failure. Is it because society terms it that once you write and you did not do well, it means you are failure. Because that's a perception in the system.
Yes, again, it's about, I think we had this conversation in the past, it's again the environment where you find yourself in. You know, there's some environment where they make you think like, if you want to go to the moon, you can actually get there. That if you want to build a house on the sun, you can do it. So if you live in such an environment, nothing can stop you.
So you have no limit.
You have no limit. But if you live in a certain environment where if you make an effort, then people start coming at you. Be careful, you know, be careful. This family, you know, this and that, you know. Nobody in your family has done that before. So that kind of fear, they put that fear in you. So that also limits you. But I think that it is important to everybody to appreciate the fact that failure is bound to happen. You know, and that it also helps you to, one, learn from your mistakes, improve yourself, and become better at attaining your objective. You know, I think it's very simple. We all need to appreciate the fact that failure is important, and it's part of human life. So when you fail, you should not shy away from it. You know, you have to be, okay, that will even teach you a lesson. That, okay, if I do this, that means it doesn't work. So let me try something else. I remember one journalist saying on television that when the first time they did the tractor, you know, it was moving backwards. You know, that wasn't the intention of the car. A car is supposed to, of course, it has reverse, but you want to move it, it's supposed to move forward to your destination. But it started moving backwards, you know, and they have to re-engineer it and blah, blah, blah before it started. So, you know, all these things will happen. And I think that it's high time that we appreciate that in our society, that don't expect that whatever you start will end smoothly. And of course, the Bishop was talking about even God himself, you know, had a few setbacks, you know, but that didn't stop him from becoming God. You know, and these are even what we must even learn from the Almighty God himself.
Wow. Yeah. So if that be the case, what's the difference between those who achieve and those who are average? Bishop?
Yeah. I think it's very simple, and the Bible makes it emphatically clear that as a man thinketh, so is he. And we've had countless examples from the Wright brothers, Thomas Edison, and their mindset towards it is that. And you know, when we're children, we used to, is it a rhyme, a poem? We say, it's a lesson you should know. Try again. If you don't try again. But society, we allow our environment to influence us and to make us cower in, we are shy. If you failed in a subject, it's because maybe you didn't grasp the principles very well, so that rather gives you an opportunity to learn. We've heard stories about Professor Alote. And Alote is constant. And we all heard the story. We heard about J.B. Dankwa, all these things when we were children were hearing. That these were people who didn't allow momentary failures to distract them. Even our own president, Nana Akufo-Addo, 3 times was rejected. President Kufuor was rejected, but they never gave up. We've heard the story about Abraham Lincoln. They all didn't give up of themselves. People will make fun of you.
But Bishop, talking about using the Western people, don't you think, like you said, the environment over there even pushing you to keep on failing so that one day an avenue will open? How do we deal with our environment here so that it will not affect us?
So, you see, I keep talking about social engineering. You see, it's a problem and a challenge of leadership. You know, here is where you write an exam and you don't really pass. And they call it protocol. You understand? You know somebody, you know a big man, an uncle, make a phone call, and all this, and this is mine, you know? So, it is social engineering. I'm talking about it. We have to reorientate our thinking and stop all this. That. Sure.
Wow. Why do you think it's so?
You know, this word, I heard it from J.J. Rawlings in 1982 when we were supposed to go to Libya. The then government didn't allow, and then Abedi Pele and co, they went and brought the cap. There's a particular word which my Archbishop likes using. Inner tenacity. And I've always told myself 2 English words. resilience, and tenacity.
Tenacity.
You can do whatever.
You want.
Me, I won't give up.
Wow.
That is resilience. And the tenacity is the ability to pursue your goal until you achieve it.
Yeah.
That's right.
So me, these two.
Wow. So one must have resilience and inner tenacity.
Tenacity.
It was a spiritual intensity.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's more or less like having the momentum, carrying the momentum to move on.
It's a
It's
mindset.
a mindset.
Condition yourself.
Condition yourself.
That you don't care. And that bishop gave an example of a guy those days in New York. This guy had dressed white from the crown of his head down there. It had rained. And then his heart fell and his brother said, he picked it up and said, who cares?
Wow.
If we can have this attitude, who cares?
Who cares?
We'll move on.
Yeah, we move.
I remember those days in Koforidua, there was a guy, and there's a walking that people used to walk. The guy, they used to call him I Careless. I Careless misbehaved during the military days. He was beaten, he was taken to the barracks and disciplined. And when he came with his own walking style, I Careless.
Wow.
So don't care about anybody, care about yourself, your vision, your goal, your dreams and aspiration. Only time will tell.
Wow. Is it achievers born with it?
This is a very dicey question. It opens the floor for philosophical argument.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, because some believe that others are born naturally, achievers. Others too they have to consciously become achievers. But the bottom line is that we all have the opportunity to become what we want to become.
Yeah.
So whether you are born to be that or not born to be that, we don't know. Okay. All we know that you are a human being born onto this earth. But the bottom line is that you can be whatever you want to be, as long as you are resilient, as long as you have that attitude and a momentum to move on. So I wouldn't want to dwell much on whether you are born with it or not. But I think that just you are alive now. That's what matters. You can if you want to. I mean, as simple as that.
So,
You know, me, if you ask me, I mean, he talked about philosophical and the political arguments and all that. Leaders, whether you're a prince, a military general, a great emperor, a great Alexander, we all came naked, empty hands. Being born into a particular class doesn't make you a leader.
okay.
I mean, if you go to any leadership class, it's influence, ability to solve problems and creating, seeing needs and solving the problem. That's what leaders are. So we have people who are in leadership position based on the fact that maybe promotions, this thing. But I find that in certain organizations, the real leaders, they don't have the executive title.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
They come with the ideas, the innovations and all that. That is what leadership is about.
They are more or less influential people.
Exactly. So if we are looking at leaders and leadership, we should look at it in terms of you creating yourself in that sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if you permit me, I mean, bringing yourself to the fore. And then people will just follow. We have the cheerleaders and all this. Everybody knows that. So I wouldn't say leaders are born. Leaders make themselves.
Wow.
Yes.
In fact, I think I for that question whether leaders are born or made, for me it's neither here nor there. Sorry, because it's neither here or there. Because, like we said, each and everyone has the ability to become who.
I mean, whatever you purpose in heart.
So if you know there's something burning within you, you have to take that.
Look at King Saul. King Saul, Jonathan and David. Jonathan, by birth, was the natural leader. But David showed leadership by killing Goliath, and then he started singing his praise. That is it.
you have to take the bull by the horn.
You yourself create your own wealth and live in it.
Oh, okay. So if you just join us, this is the Generation Leaders Talk Show. We are having a nice time here. We're talking about failing forward, and we've set so many examples how one can fail forward. The bishop said two things: resilience and tenacity. Resilience and tenacity. The question is, how many of us can be able to use these two things to guide our lives? If you have any question, you can send a question through 020-768-1986. 020-768-1986. Bring your questions, send your questions, and I will be glad to read them. Meanwhile, there are some messages here. I need to read them now. Somebody's just sent me a big. He said it's quite big. He said, "Nice program, enjoying it. Pa, keep it out, bro. Thank you." And this one, okay, this one also says that nice one, senior. I have really enjoyed your program. Ayuko, thank you too, but no name. Please next time make sure you add your name to it. This one says that I'm Elijah, one of your mates in SHS. Wow, I was part of those recruiting in the immigration. Hey, so it also says that they said my height doesn't meet their requirement, but because some paid, they came to call them. Wow. And this one says that you are really doing a great job. God bless you. Thank you too. Says that I'm Rita from Medina. We are beaten by the rain. We were beaten by the rain that day. That was 26th of October. They asked us not to leave the rain. They asked not to leave the rain.
They don't never forget in my life.
In fact, I had a call yesterday.
That's serious, yeah?
One of my friends, female friend, who went in queue, and she said they're in the queue, and people will come and they'll be calling them, and they'll be pointing some people to. So like Bishop said also, I think you or Bishop, some people have already been picked already.
Oh yes.
So whatever formality. You do, you just
Protocol.
Anyway,
there's a list.
Do we consider all this as part of failing forward? Because going through this and you are not getting a favorable result, and this so-called protocol taking place, do you see yourself as Charlie? It's not worth it.
You know, I was saying about innovation thinking, and I think this is a common saying that if you don't think, you stink, and you sink.
Yeah.
You see, so going for such a program and you not being paid is also an opportunity to let you know something that won't help you, what won't work for you. So start looking at other options you might have. What are your passions, your interests? And start pursuing them, because the place is choked with protocol matters. So maybe unless an angel has told you that it is only the public service, and that place, the real millionaires and the rich people, they are not in the public service.
Yeah.
Every rich man from Kwame, by all the names that we know, they are
KFM and others.
all that private business people.
Yeah.
So if you really want to make it big and successful, it is not by salary like all the
Public servants.
the
The breast-
motivational speakers.
Yes.
They tell us that is not the real thing. The real thing is with you.
Yeah.
It's with your hand, with your brains. Go and shut up. I'm not saying go and become a musician. I'm only saying that you create your own wealth, not what somebody is giving you salary.
But Bishop, I think you've said, but let me also say, you see, sometimes you might have all the adrenaline, the ability to start something, what you want to do, but maybe the capital to set the ball rolling is not there. How do you
You see, once you have an idea, there's always a way and a will. And that is why we are talking about the government, not so much. But we have people with money. And this morning I was preaching somewhere and I was like, Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 1. I like the Message version. It says, a good reputation is better than a big fat account.
Wow.
You see, if you are going to be a generational thinker and leave a legacy, you must look around and invest into people that will carry your name, like Rockefeller, who became the first billionaire in our modern times. You know, the story is that he fell sick at the age of 56, and he turned his whole life around and started all this, what is it called? The NGO, this thing. And he lived to the ripe old age of 96. He set up a foundation, Rockefeller Foundation, which is still in existence. So our rich people, people with the substance, we are begging you, please, on behalf, I'm making an appeal on behalf of our young people. You see, so much money with you and your children, your name will die. And anytime I talk about this thing, I talk about a story I read in primary 2 or 3, I can't read that 4, about a man named Kojo Okoto. This man was so wicked, a blacksmith. He died. He went to heaven and was rejected. He was going to hell, and Satan's children decided that they even went to protest to their father that this man is so wicked, we don't even want him in hell, because he was not a giver. Leaders, rich people, begin to invest in people, give opportunities to people, and that is how your name will remain on this earth. It's a good reputation. So I think that is one way we can.
Is it your take concerning?
And buy 2 shoes, and for this price, you know, that's also the method for achieving it. So it's about what you want to do.
Okay.
You know, so once you make up your mind to do something, somehow your mind will ignite some ideas. Okay, try this, try that. Then for me, it may not be money cash, but it can lead you to places where you get a support to promote your business. The second option is also to get people who can advise you, like mentors. You know, especially those who are doing what you want to do. So it's good to find people who can give you some ideas, because they've been there before.
Yeah.
They know the terrain, you know, so you don't repeat their mistakes, and they can guide you. Okay, take this lane, don't take this lane, and then that can also help you to kickstart something. At least you are a bit guided, you know, in what you do. So I think the constantly taking place, you know, somebody guiding you in that regard.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to. I said I'll give an example.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have what it takes, most of us, we don't want apprenticeship.
Yeah.
We can identify with people who are doing what
you want to do,
and go and work free.
That's true.
But we don't want it. Now every young person, when they want to do something, they want money. And it is not helping. I read something from this book, and I recommend it for anybody. Me, sometimes I said, apart from the Bible, it's the most practical book that everybody. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie.
Yeah. That's a long time book.
Yeah, but it's around.
Yeah.
I think the Nigerians have managed reproduce it, so
It's around.
It's around.
I see some couples around.
And he talked about how a drop of honey catches more flies than a gallon full of gall. And he talked about, you see, everybody has a certain ego. So, and he demonstrated it by an old lady whose husband had bought a Cadillac or something and left it, and it just packed. And there was this young man who was always visiting this old man, woman who didn't know the car was parked in it. And they started talking about cars and regularly. And one day, the old lady said, my husband bought this car and passed away. The car is there. You can have it. You know, when you take real interest in people, they will always meet your need.
That's true.
So please, young people, don't wait for billions to come into your hands. You can present yourself as apprentice to people. Even if you're a pastor, you want to be a pastor, go and serve some big pastor, and the grace will fall upon you. You want to be a good musician, go and subject yourself for free. Just carry their bags, sweep their house, and one day, that opening will come. We all don't need money. It's not money. It is availing yourself and identify with your dream and your vision and being in the right environment, and then a miracle.
Wow. We've alluded to different areas. Let's talk about background, family background when it comes to feeling forward. Yes.
Okay.
Let's look at family background when it comes to feeling forward.
Me, I have Jabez. I have Jabez, I have David in the Bible. His beginning was not good. One, so the God factor will always bring that change. So if you know you don't come from a very good background, the creator of the heavens and the earth becomes your father. When you accept him and have a good relationship with him, you are from that royal family of the line of David. You see? So most of us, we allow our background to impact us negatively. But unless you change your mindset that you don't belong there, you belong to where the eagles fly. You see, and David, as a young guy, was very passionate and wanted to be successful. He saw the opportunity. And so you should be looking for opportunities. Opportunities all over us. We can't see the air. But if you have what it takes, you can grab the air and box it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that is what it is. So your background shouldn't limit you and restrict you in any way. Just desire success and work yourself, prove yourself like David did in the background, in the wilderness, train himself. So when the opportunity, and that is this American president, he said, prepare yourself, and then the opportunities will come.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So for now, if you know you don't come from a good background, you need God first. And then you must learn very hard. Study to show yourself approved. Pray. And then the opportunities will come.
This place. Wow, so the numbers are on the screen now, so you can call 0246 23 9070. 0246 23 9070. You can call and ask a question, or you can also make a comment, send a comment, or add to what we are discussing here today. 0246 23 9070. 0246 23 9070. So let me read some couples of messages here. This one says, is it I'm Richard, watching you from Kaswa. I'm really being touched by the submission your guests are making. My question is, what my problem is, generation leaders, you come today and next week you don't come. Oh, what's that? This one there. We are sorry for that. We had a technical challenge, but it wouldn't happen again. We are very, very sorry for that. The person is actually making some. Is it that I take my cue and my advice from your show based on the people you come with? They are very endowed. People like Mr. Fufu Thomas and Mr. Ernest, whom it's been a while I've seen here. Where are all these people who set up the ball? Who set it up? And why are they not coming? We hope to see this show next week along the line. Let it be really a generational leaders show, but not once show. No name. whoever sent this message, please, we had a technical challenge, so please don't misconstrue things, right? I think we went off just only once or twice, but we are back for good, so it wouldn't happen. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. We thank you for taking your cue from on our platform. We trust that you are learning, and we trust that you are also implementing what we are discussing here each and every time. As you are ready to accuse us, we are also accusing you to make the best out of whatever you learn from us. Is that also? Anyway, and this one, he said, I'm Sammy, watching you live from Newtown. I'm being inspired and touched. I like the submission of the pastor saying that when you don't think, you stink. Thank you too. This one, he says, I'm Frank, watching from US. Okay, this is a friend I sent. I'm really energized by the subject, feeling forward. It tells me that upon all what I'm going through in this place, there's more hope for me, and I can forge ahead to break through. Thanks for such a topic. Keep it up, King George. Thank you too. This is Mary. Mary is watching us from Sotum. So it says that great show, very inspiring, very informative. Keep it up, guys. Thank you. And this one, he said, I'm blessing watching you from East Legon. I'm loving it. I'm watching with my cousins. We are really enjoying ourselves with the show. My first time of tuning in KFM, and I've really enjoyed it. Hope to watch it this and every Saturday. Thank you. And this is Solo from, I think there's a call on the line. Hello. Hello. Please, your name and where I'm calling from.
Good evening.
Good evening. Your name and where I'm calling from. Oh, we've lost the person. Please, you can call back again. You can call on 0246239070. Okay. 0246239070. Please, when you call, kindly lower the set a bit so you can make your submission. When you call, kindly lower your set so you can make a submission. Another message by Priscilla says that I have really learned something new today. Thanks to you all and KFM crew. Priscilla here again. Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you. That's how it is. It's for people to learn something new in life. So if you learn something new, you are fulfilled. And that's the reason why we come here each and every Saturday to inspire you. So keep it up, Priscilla. Yes, I was reading the message. This one says, I'm Daku. I'm watching you from Kokomemble. I'm being energized, and I'm being pushed to fail forward. There's a caller. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Please, your name and where I'm calling from.
Yeah, my name is Prophet Razak.
Prophet Razak. Okay.
Yes. I love your program.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I know. I want to greet the man of God, Mr. Sami. He's a very humble man of God.
Thank you, sir. You want to meet him, eh?
Yes, yes. I think he's an Archbishop Duncan Williams. He's a very humble man of God. I know him at the Church of Action Chapel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but actually, your program is very good, but connecting to the church of today, the church and its leaders are misleading the youth. Please, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yes. The church, the archbishops, the bishops, the pastors are misleading the youth. They are not teaching the youth to do the right thing, but rather, oh, just believe in Jesus, come, we will give you money, we will do this. So the youth are corrupt in their mind. So I will also encourage the youth not to consider the spirituality of being rich and other things, but they should rather believe in themselves and move forward and pray to Jesus Christ for Jesus Christ to take them to a place that they wish to be in life.
Thank you very much.
So that's my contribution.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay. We hope to do that. Talking about that, I'll come back to that issue. So you want to be part of the show, you can call 0246239070. 0246239070. For me, this is my perspective towards the church of today. I think the church is a forum whereby it's being used to educate and also to inspire people, also to rebuke and correct. From what our brother is saying, Bishop, you can help us.
I agree with him, but not totally
Yes,
true.
I also agree with him, but
Because
not totally true.
here we are.
Yeah.
I think listening to us, we don't sound like we are deceiving any child. We are pushing them to do the right thing.
Yeah.
So you cannot generalize. Razak, I agree with you that some of the messages have not helped, you know, but here we are trying to help the people practically, education, this and that and that. So it is true. I mean, we all need a reorientation. Maybe at a certain point, that was the message. But practically, we realize that we are not just going to heaven. Prayers does not change anything. After prayer, you need to go and work because it is. God said he will bless the work of your hands. So God didn't say, I'll bless you when you pray. So Razak, here we are. We are teaching and we are empowering people. And I was going to suggest that maybe off from where we can actually collect people who have such needs and then maybe linking them up to
Other people,
the people,
the right people.
of course. So maybe it's something we have to consider.
Okay, I
Yeah.
think we will look at it.
Sure.
We will discuss that. But it's a very laudable idea. It's a very good idea, I think. So that those who can be of help to them
Exactly.
should be able to help
Sure.
to them. That's a very laudable idea.
There are people who have the money, but people have abused them and they don't
Yeah.
want to come out in the open.
That's
But
true.
if we have such a forum that they can contact us, we can link them up to such people, we can create something to help society.
Wow, 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 wow.
Yeah.
Oh, the messages are just coming, just keep on coming. This one says that he said, hi, I'm enjoying the show. This is my first time of watching the show. In fact, I'm watching from Kumasi, Kumasi Edum. My first time of watching the show, and you have pushed me to go out there. I completed the university for the past 5 years, seeking for a job, not getting it. In fact, I'm part of those who went in queue, and still I was disqualified. But listening to you today, I've been touched. I have no choice than to make something out of my life. Even the Bible says, he who does not work must not eat. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for such a wonderful show. Thank you very much, Thomas. That's very, very decent.
You know, I've been thinking of something in my head right now. The name just kill him out. Kill him out. Just go and get a kiosk, fry kelewele, go to Ghana, Guinness, Ghana, get some few bottles of Kelimot. And that is your Kelimot company.
Wow.
You don't need any big money.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And this one he said, Linda says he's watching us from East Legon. He said, I am a regular viewer of your show. I always learn something new out of it. I always have favorite people to watch. No wonder I'm watching another bishop on your show. Such an inspiring person. I love his submission and the ways he goes about. And in fact, I agree with him by saying we should put something together to help people who have the idea but the resource. Every little contribution will all contribute to support people to do something with their life.
It's not that.
We'll do that.
Wow, that's touch. People have just started showing interest.
That means we all want solutions, you know. So,
Wow.
I mean, everybody there is happy with the good news.
Okay, this one says, I'm Jennifer, watching from Winneba. I'm loving the show. I love the way your guest goes about their submission. Very practical and very incisive. Very inciting. Okay. Wow, okay. Okay, so the show is put together by a team of people. They make sure that the best comes on your way this and every Saturday, and it's always being sponsored by Zoe Mama's Bread. Zoe Mama's Bread, they are located at Odoko, getting close to the traffic light, but before Buga's Furnitures. They have all kinds of assorted bread. They have the coconut bread, they have the chicken bread, they have the tuna bread, they have the bun bread, they have the spiced fruit bread, chocolate bread, cocoa bread, sugar bread, banana bread, and marble bread. You have eaten the, you have taken the.
I think the coconut bread.
How was it?
It was nice.
I really,
nice.
I also enjoyed the I think the brown bread. I really enjoyed it, and also I've tasted the coconut bread before. Very nice. Very
I didn't even know when it got finished.
Come again. You didn't go when it got finished.
When it got finished.
Yeah, I want the sardine and tuna.
Anyway, we will try and get some. We will try and bring them here. So Bishop, so let's look at the youth of today. In your earlier submission, when we were talking, you mentioned of counseling in the schools. The question is, do we even have much counseling department in the schools today?
Well,
In other part of the world, in every community, there's a counseling in the community. I mean, in Ghana, let's take Circle for example. How many counseling departments in Circle do we even have that somebody can walk to such a place to be counseled?
so here we are. There is a challenge. Maybe we have to do that research. I know every tertiary institution, they have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, as for the tertiary, if I'm
Yes.
talking about
But the secondary
yeah,
and the primary
yes.
school, I think it is something we have to look at. And as we are discussing, practically, you know, we have a lot of educators who are on retirement and they are bored. They can reinvent themselves, not for salary, and create community counseling with the chiefs and the MCCs and all those things, a place where people can run to.
Yeah.
People are not going because there is no place and they don't know where. But if we did such and announced and all this thing, working with the chiefs and the MCs and all those things, even some of the old people, they won't die early because they will be fulfilled. They are giving back to life.
Yeah.
So if we don't have, we can look for that research. We can go to GS and see which schools are lacking all those things and work with the communities, and then we can create such.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's a challenge for us anyway. That's a challenge for us. Ezekiel, your take us on that as well.
Well, I think that is non-negotiable. We also have to understand that in society, you know, the kind of environment we create determines the kind of people we're going to develop at the end of the day, you know. But if you observe very critically, you realize that in Accra particularly, we are losing out our community parks. You know, the little park that's available before you realize we are putting up office, you know, high buildings here and there, you know. But a community park has its purpose. Even, you know, where you have flowers, you have trees there, you know. Because somebody leaving his house to go sit there, even for 1 hour alone, can solve a lot of problem. Because sometimes some issues are not just medical, but they could be psychological.
Yeah.
You know, just go and walk around in the park and come back. Now, all those have benefits, you know, when it comes to society. But yeah, everywhere is choked, pressure everywhere, you know. So it's even affecting how people grow, you know, in terms of their well-being. So, of course, I mean, if you are losing these parks, you know, we need to also find a way to sack people, help them if they have any, they are stressed, there's levels of anxiety. How do we, you know, bridge, you know, those or find a solution to that? You know, it's like it's saying, even at a tertiary level, I'm wondering whether they are even adequate.
Of course, I was about to even say that.
Whether they're even adequate, because when I was in tertiary, when I was in school, I know of one person who said we were told was our psychologist or counselor. So if you have any issue, you go to the person.
The question is,
Are they trained?
Okay, for uni, I can say that they are trained, you know. But the other thing is that why should I go to the person in the first place? What's their motivation? Because students have issues on campus,
yes.
You know. But so how many of them will even go to the person and talk to the person?
We do hear students killing themselves,
Yeah, you know.
throwing themselves.
So I think it is something we need to
I
consciously
think practically
do.
we can even use this platform they are listening to us.
Yeah.
They know this thing. They can direct, and then we will find a way.
Yeah.
Like we are saying, we have to partner with society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't
Well,
know
the
where to go.
stakeholders, sort of.
Yes. So if they brought such this thing, we can discuss and say, okay, go see this man because we have discussed, and they'll be willing.
Yeah.
And then try to merge.
Okay.
Yes.
So
with
we
society.
serve as a bridge.
Yes, we
Yeah.
have to serve like as such.
But the idea of reaching out to those on retirement is also very good. Yeah.
Yes.
Because they have
Very
experience,
practical.
they are willing
Yeah.
to, you know.
They are bored.
Yeah,
They are
they-
looking for
I'm sure-
something
I'm
to
sure
do.
they'll be
I'm
willing
sure
to
they'll
support.
be willing
Yeah.
for free.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. All right then. So if we are really enjoying ourselves today on Generational Leaders Talk Show, and I trust that most of you who just joined us today are really learning and taking some cue out of what we are discussing today. I think today we've more or less tackled most angles of what is on the table, and I trust that you've also learned a lot. So Bishop,
Yes,
we have
sir.
some few minutes left, but I would like you to give me, I'm giving you just 3 minutes for your last submission. What do you tell our viewers and in terms of failure, in terms of how they should perceive failure and how they can carry themselves when they are failing in life?
1, they were created in the image of God. And so, they must embrace failure as part of life. In our earlier submission, we said God himself failed. He has experienced setbacks. So it is nothing new.
Yeah.
And there's nothing new
Under
under
the
the sun. So if you failed, maybe because you didn't observe the principles well, or it is just a way of God telling you, look on the other side. You see, but some of us, we just think in a straight manner. We cannot think outside the box. We cannot look around. So, the idea of mentorship, you see, every successful person in this life has had a mentor.
Absolutely.
Somebody they are looking up to.
True.
You know, there's a scripture in Joshua chapter 3. You have not gone on this road before. Somebody, you are not treading the path that somebody has already treaded. So somebody knows something you don't know. It takes a lot of humility and to pursue that. But a lot of us, we are not humble. And then we are ungrateful too. When people give us opportunities, we abuse it, we become familiar, and that kind of, as if they owe us. Nobody in this life owes anybody anything. So if somebody opens up their heart, and I believe after this program, people are going to change their thinking and going to open up. So if you are such a person, if you got such an opportunity, don't abuse it. Don't abuse anybody. You have to be grateful and be humble, and God will. The sky, they say, will be the limit.
Wow. Is it? Yeah, so
Well, I think that the bottom line is that failure is part of human life. So anytime you fail, don't get discouraged. Like Bishop said, you know, resilience and tenacity is what you need. Keep moving, keep pushing, you know, until you eventually, you know, break the rocks into pieces. But it doesn't mean that you want to deliberately go and fail. You know, people sometimes, you know, so because failure is good, you can, people just deliberately fail.
That is true.
That's very funny, you know, to say that we are afraid of 20 times because they said it's normal to fail.
That is not what we are saying.
Yeah, no, sometimes we can misconstrue what you are saying, you know. But make it a point to succeed.
Yeah.
But we are saying that in that process,
Yes.
you may slip,
Yeah.
you know. But when you slip, just get up and keep moving, you know. So that's what I want to share. Thank you.
Wow, wow, what a show, what a show, what a show, what a show. I want to thank all of you for making time to sit behind your set, to watch and to learn. I have said that, look, we all go to school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But I will urge you to always take Saturday as your personal development. So this is more or less your virtual investing, that you are taking classes in life. I also want to thank my guest, Bishop Sami Opari, for making time. Sami Luko.
Opari Loco.
Oh, Bishop Sami
It's
Opari
hyphenated.
Luko.
Okay.
For making time. Bishop is a very busy man, but he has made the time. In fact, he has giving his word that we can call him anytime. So now that Bishop is we're coming more often now. So Bishop, hope to see you every Saturday.
It will be a pleasure.
Wow. So we're going to collaborate with Bishop to do a lot so we can help our viewers as well. I also want to thank Ezekiel for making time. Very busy guy, but always makes time to be here. So I want to thank all my production team. Vosa with the eagle eye, Betty behind the machines directing, Bismarck behind the production, Bright making sure that cameras are all set, Samson also making sure things are rifle part, and then my one and only producer overseeing all things, making sure that everything is on course. I just come and sit here to do the talking. My name is King George. I also want to thank all our Generation Leaders team on the platform. Michael, Priscilla, all of you who make sure the show goes on well, who are always asking questions, what is next, what are we doing, always asking prudent questions. I want to thank you all for your challenging and inspiring time. Until we come on your way the same time next week, always remember that to be informed is to be transformed, and to be uninformed is to be deformed. God bless you, and God bless you, and God richly bless you.